Hey guys. Hey, so I just wanted to talk today about our attitude and all the stuff that goes on inside. I was writing a letter today to my brother, and recently he has changed his attitude on life itself, on everything. Pretty much it seems that the way he looks at everything is different, and that is so huge. And I was just saying to him, this is so huge, you need to realize how big this is. I'm so proud, this is the base, because in him changing his attitude towards things, in him changing his perspective and the way he looks at things, so much has happened for him. And he's also, his body and everything follows his attitude of heart. So the actions that are coming are just, they're so huge. They're helping people, and they're helping him, and they're looking they're setting him up for future goals and everything like that. And I was wow. And I was just, it made me think of the verse in the Bible, how Jesus is speaking, and he's what goes into the mouth does not defile a person, it's what comes out. And the disciples are what? And he's don't you understand? He's food and water, what goes into your mouth goes through the stomach and is expelled. It doesn't do anything, but what comes out of your mouth is your attitude of heart, is your heart, is the things that come from man's heart. And they can be really horrid things. At the end of the day, everything comes down to your attitude of heart towards everything. So, for example, and this all ties into the power of the tongue and what you speak over things and everything like that as well. But for example, the whole work thing again, got work today, it's gonna be so long and just gonna drag and whatever. Or you can be I've got work today, it's gonna be so good, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna meet some people and I'm gonna have effect in some people's lives, and it's gonna be really good. And who knows, I might learn things, it's all about your attitude and the way that you look at things. With everything that you're given, you literally get the choice to have whatever viewpoint you want on it. Even if someone acts on purpose badly towards you, or says something horrible about you or anything like that, at the end of the day, that is their action and that is what they're doing. And you can choose to have a bitter, resentful attitude to them because they did that, or you can choose to have an attitude of love towards them and just let your action not be a reaction to what they're doing to you, but have an attitude of love towards them. And if you do that, you can be from the standpoint of whoa, that is not what a happy, okay person says to or about someone. So what is going on here underneath the surface? Do you know what I'm saying? So that attitude of heart and everything. And then I was reading also in the Bible, and just recently I came across this verse which I think is so amazing. It's Jesus speaking to the Pharisees, because basically they'll do kind things and help an old lady walk across the road kind of things, and stuff like that, just so that people see them and think that they are kind. But really on the inside, it's the most sly, deceitful attitude you've ever thought of, and that's really yuck. So Jesus is talking about the importance of inside, like what comes out, like your attitude of heart. And he says to them, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and the plate, that the outside may also be clean." And it goes on, like there's another analogy, and he says, "For you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly appear beautiful, but within are full of dead people's bones and all uncleanness. So you also outwardly appear righteous to others, but within you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness." And I just was like, whoa, like that is amazing. Like, it's just the importance of what is on the inside, not the out. Like, we as people, me included, we spend all this time and money on making ourselves look good, just appearance wise, physically, working out, which is good. It's good to work out and keep fit and take care of your body, but why are you doing it? And yeah, the way that we put ourselves to people, whether it be because doing our hair and makeup to make ourselves attractive, or what we wear, the brand of clothes or whatever, to, you know, to put out some, whatever you want to put out to people about yourself. And it's good to present yourself nicely and in a good way, but we spend so much time on the outward. We spend so much time cleaning the outside of the cup and the plate, and not enough time looking inside, not enough time cleaning the inside. First, you must clean the inside of the cup and the plate so that the outside may also be clean. So, and also talking about cleaning the outside, the same thing. Like, we may help someone, or whether it be give someone money, do their groceries, clean their house, whatever it is. But if you do that and then go and basically tell every single person that you can possibly tell, or like broadcast it, you're doing it for the attention, you're doing it for the look. If you're, same thing with like writing someone a message or anything like that, like just acknowledge and be mindful of why you're doing it. Are you doing it because you want to uplift them and because you want them to feel good, or whatever it is saying in the words of the message? Or are you doing it so other people see it? Because let's get rid of that. It's always about what is coming from the inside. Love isn't just an action. Love is definitely not just words. It says in the Bible, love in deed and in truth. And deed meaning actions. So love is actions, but it's not just actions. It's your attitude. Deed. It is your attitude of heart. And so everything is based from attitude. And we've got to look at that. And also, so all that. And then I was just also thinking recently, very similar to the whole cleaning the outside of the cup, not the inside. And I was thinking about things like why we as humans do things that damage us, like the short-term pleasures kind of thing. So like drugs, sex, money, drinking, not eating too much, self-harm, all this stuff that damages us so badly. Smoking, like we do it though, and we continue to do it, and even when we don't want to do it, we keep doing it. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, why do we do that? Like, what is going on? And I was just thinking, and I'm like, outward acts do not repair inward damage. So like, the things we put into our bodies physically, just like the whole, what goes into a man does not defile him, but what comes out of his mouth, because that's the attitude. The things that we're putting into our body, they're not making us better. They're not making us feel any better. They're not fixing the problem. They're delaying it. They're numbing it. It's just like having a broken arm. You can take some Nurofen, so it's going to numb and it's not going to feel sore. But the second that Nurofen wears off, it's going to be sore again, because you didn't fix the problem. You didn't address the problem. You simply numbed it. So like with drugs and like sex and stuff like that, like we want to feel loved. And so some people for that go out and just have sex with some random person they don't even know. And like it makes them maybe feel good, maybe it doesn't, but let's say it does. And it's all good in the moment, but then you leave and that feeling's gone and you need to go do that again. And at the end of the day, it's not fixing the problem, which is you feeling unloved. It's just numbing it. It's not fixing the broken arm. It's you're just taking some Nurofen and you can't feel it for a while, and then it comes back because, hang on a minute, it's always been there. You just numbed it out. And it's like the same thing with drinking and drugs and self-harm and being too hard on ourselves, like not eating food or eating too much and stuff like that. Like we do it for the feeling, whatever feeling it gives us, but the feeling that it gives us isn't lasting. And the reason the feeling isn't lasting is because it's mainly synthetic. The drug highs, it's all like synthetic and physical and chemical reactions, hormonal, like all of it. Like the food is hormonal and all of that, and the drugs are synthetic and chemical, and the alcohol and the sex is hormonal, and it's all physical. And at the end of the day, the reason we do all that stuff is because there's an underlying root problem, which we're trying to chuck it, Band-Aid on a broken arm. We're trying to take the Nurofen and numb it out, but it's not taking it away. Instead, we need to address what is going on inside. Do you feel unloved? We'll seek after love. Sex isn't love. Sex is a physical act that married people or people who are truly in love, they do, but it's not love. And like what I got from all of it, like my thought is, okay, two main root problems of like maybe why we do that is because we want to be loved. So we're feeling like unloved or lonely, or we want to feel just joy, like true joy, the type of joy that just stays with you and doesn't leave, not the temporary synthetic numbing stuff that makes you feel all good, but really is just going to be preparing you for a massive come down, because the problem's still there when you come out of the numbness. Like it's not, you didn't address it. So love and joy, and like if you want love, doesn't it make sense to seek after love? And now obviously I've read from the Bible in this video, and most of you know I'm a Christian. For those who don't, I'm a Christian, and God has filled a place in my life that nothing else could or ever would. And I know that everyone who doesn't have him has this place that nothing else is ever going to fill. And I just want to tell you that God is love. Like he actually is love. We can love, and we can love other people, we can love, but God literally is love. It is who he is. So if you want love, seek after love. If you want relationship, you're feeling lonely, he wants that with you. And joy, like he gives true joy, like the type that never leaves, the type that you can be in the midst of the worst possible situation that you could ever imagine in your life, but inside you still have joy. It's different to happiness. Joy is like this constant feeling that everything's good. Even when it's storming all around you, you're just standing there and you're like, this too shall pass. My friend recently got that tattooed on her actually, and I think it's great. That this too shall pass. Like, joy is that feeling, and it's the feeling of just absolute satisfaction and absolute fullness. And yeah, the last thing I guess I have to say about God is, yeah, some people know the story, like he sent his only son and he died for us so that we may have eternal life, and he rose from the dead, whether you believe it or not. Some may not, but I sometimes feel like it doesn't sink in for people. Like, I was watching this love story of a movie the other night, and I was like, it was full on crazy, but the base of it was just based like they were in love for years when they were young, and then they were separated by just something really terrible for 20 something years, and she went off and got married, and he went off and worked in the army or did something, and then like they came back together after 20 odd years, and she and him obviously hit it off, and it was like amazing love, and he knew her inside and out, and she was herself with him, and then she had to go back to her husband, and he was like, don't worry, I understand, I totally know who you are, and I love you, and I'll always be waiting. And I was like, whoa, like that is just ultimate love. Like, he knows her inside and out. He would be willing to risk his life for her. Like, he could do anything. And then the same night I had to take my son to the toilet, and he was half asleep, and as I was carrying him back to his bed, my heart was so full, because he's just so precious to me. He's everything. And I just thought about the whole, God loves us so much. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and he loves us so much that he sent his precious son, his only son, to die for us that we may live. And so yeah, like, just think about that. It's full on. And yeah, just what I was saying about attitude, guys, just, it's for me too, and I just wanted to share, because I just and learning and growing, and I just feel how important it is, and see in people's lives how important it is. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this.